Hi, this is Christy Sassman with On the Page PA and Author Services. Today we're doing a live read for Kaci Rose. Her book, just out, Sunrise. Here we go. Chapter 1, Lindley. Who the hell rents out an entire inn for one person? Cade Markson, that's who. Cade Markson is not only a movie star, but the hottest Playboy movie star. And he just rented out my whole Sunrise Inn for an entire 2 weeks. His manager demands were pretty stringent, too. Bare minimum staff on the property. And we all had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, or an NDA as he called it. He was renting the whole inn, but wanted to stay in the best room, and I was basically to cater to his every need and keep him out of the press. Oh boy, I think they just hired me to be his babysitter. This'll be fun. I make coffee in a travel mug and then take a short walk to the Sunset Inn next door that my friend Bryn runs. The sun is just starting to shine over the beach of our small North Carolina island. The wood of the boardwalk that connects our two inns is still a bit cool under my feet. I head in the side door and down the service hallway to our room, using my key to unlock it. Since we both run inns together, we share keys as well as many of the events. My inn caters to all things in the morning, including breakfast, brunch, and sunrise events. And hers caters to events in the evening. Dinner for both inns is served at the Sunset Inn, so we'll need to make sure food can be moved to Sunrise for Cade. And since I make breakfast, we'll have to move breakfast to Sunset for the time being. I step into her room and jump onto her bed before lying down beside her. This isn't uncommon for us. So much she knows who it is without opening her eyes. If someone isn't dead, you will be. Do you know what time it is? Bryn asked. She's not a morning person by any means, so it works perfectly for her to handle the evening events. It's only 7 o'clock. You will never guess the phone call I got. Seriously, you're going to shit your pants. I'm going back to bed, she grumbles and turns her head into the pillow. I pull the pillow from under her and smack her with it before throwing it on the floor. A movie star just rented my entire inn, and I won't tell you a single detail if you don't wake up. Her head pops up to look at me before she glares at me and sits up with her back against the headboard. I hand her the coffee and let her drink it before jumping into my story. I learned early on that Bryn isn't human without coffee. Now I have it ready, and I just hand her a cup. Start talking, she says as she clings to the first half of her coffee and grabs the phone. So Cade Markson's agent called and asked about renting the whole inn out for 2 weeks. It wasn't a problem because we'd been booking everyone with you a while, so I do some work here and there before the season starts. But when I hesitate, he offered to pay me double my website prices. That's more than I make in a month in a season. So I said yes. We all have to sign a non-disclosure, and I'm to have minimal staff on the property. So I think you and I will be doing a bunch of the work. He's even paying the salary of the staff who are asked to stay home. Bryn turns her phone to face me. He's in the news again for sleeping with another co-star's wife. Maybe they're trying to rebrand him and want him to hide out for a while. I've seen them do that before with stars. They go away for a bit and then come back as a new person or something. I don't know. They wouldn't tell me. But we have 3 days to get this place ready. He'll be staying at the Sunrise Suite, and from what I can tell, there won't be anyone else here, I tell her. The Sunrise Suite is our most expensive suite. It's located on the top floor with the best views, its own balcony, and enough space to be a small apartment. It's March here in our little island, Hummingbird Island, And in the small town of Seaview is busy with tourists from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but pretty dead in the off-season. It's why it was so easy for Kate's manager to book the inn, and why the money he's paying will be greatly appreciated. I couldn't turn this down even if I wanted to, and Bryn knows it. Okay, let's get moving. A wave of storms is supposed to hit this weekend, so I want all this done by then, Bryn says. I nod in agreement, since neither of us likes storms. About 5 years ago, both our parents, who were best friends, went out on a fishing boat ride for the day, and a storm sprang up out of nowhere and capsized the boat. The bodies washed up on shore a day later. Not only did we bury our parents that day, but we became inn owners much sooner than we'd ever planned. We'd made a pact to keep running them together, like our parents, and help each other. We were pretty much all each other has. We moved into the inns and rented out our parents' houses during the season as vacation rentals. We've done pretty well over the past few years, and it has been able to put money in the bank. I guess we've all done so well that Cade Markson had heard of us and is coming to here to stay for 2 weeks. This could put us on the map or kill us dead in the water. God, do you think he's a complete jerk who will throw his coffee across the room if it's not made right? I giggle. For the love of God, I will throw it right back at him, Bryn says. I know she will, too, because she has a good arm. She has thrown several seashells at me over the years, one of which I still have a scar from. She will never live that one down. Let's make a list of what needs to get done, Bryn suggests. Well, I need to check my mail and get him the info for every employee who won't be working and their pay so he can cut them a check. After we decide who to keep, I think Bertha and her husband John. They will get a bonus for working Cade's manager, and it's an incentive to keep their mouths shut. Bertha is the head housekeeper at Sunrise and has been with us since my parents ran the place. She started here one summer at age 16 and just never left. Her husband John is my maintenance man and assistant for the landscaping when needed. He also has no problem helping his wife clean, so I think we can make it work between the 4 of us. I agree. We'll also need a few security guys, but I don't think you need anyone else, and if you do, we can bring them in from Sunset. Now go check your email and start making calls to let people know they have an unexpected vacation. And I'll go check on the room and your pantry to make sure we have what we need. Maybe get dressed first. I run my eyes over her and she punches my arm. Ow, I say, rubbing where she hit me. It's too early for you to be a smartass, she says as she heads to her bathroom. I go back to Sunrise and I pull my employees' list up. I make the calculations, and it will cost him. When I open my email to send him the information, I'm greeted with a happy surprise. If the visit goes well, he'll offer us a bonus to divide how I see fit. I guess this is a bit of a bribe to make sure there's no hiccups. I shoot him an email with the daily rate totals for the 20 rooms for 14 nights, and the pay for the employees I'll be sending home. I also ask if he'll be supplying his own security, or if he wants to use my day and nighttime guards. I open up the document for the contracts for the stay and the e-sign it before sending it back. Then I start making phone calls. I know it's early, but I have to do much, and I am calling with good news, so that should make up for it. Everyone grumbles when they answer my call, but then perk right up at the mention of a 2-week paid vacation. Most don't ask for details, not wanting to look a gift horse in the mouth, but a few press me. So I just say I had someone rent the inn for privacy and I don't need a full staff. That seems to satisfy them. Once the calls are made, I check my email again and find they want to use my security. Also attached are non-disclosures he wants all my employees to sign, including myself. After printing out the copies I need, I call Bertha and John and my security guys in for an emergency meeting this afternoon. Then I go find Bren. I find her in the sunrise suite. This is my favorite room in the whole place. My mom decorated every detail and even took the photos that adorn the walls. They are from around the island. The suite is the only one of 2 rooms on the 3rd floor, and the one only that faces the ocean. It has its own balcony where I love to sit when the room is empty, which isn't often. The room has a large king bed and a sitting area and a kitchen nook, a massive bathroom with a clawfoot tub situated for an ocean view. It has all the fancy touches, a hardwood floor, a modern beach theme, and blues and greens throughout. Okay, I'd say, let's not chance it and treat the room like someone was just here. Replace everything, dust everything, clean everything. The works, Bren says. Now that she is up and dressed and she is in work mode, and she is kick-ass at her job, I knew she'd be perfect one to take the lead on this. I agree. We have a meeting with Bertha and John and the security team this afternoon. I text the details and we'll sign the NDAs then, I tell her. You call everyone else and give them time off? Yeah? Everyone's coming in today and tomorrow to give the whole inn a huge once-over cleaning. I don't want to take any chances by having them here on the day he arrives. So even if we're up all night ourselves, we'll make it work, I say, and she nods. Okay, I'll hit the farmer's market before he gets in that day, but let's get to work. You said he won't be staying in the other rooms, she asked. That's what I was told, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to give them a dusting and a once-over as well, just in case. Famous last words, just in case. She sighs as we stare out at the morning sun dancing over the Atlantic Ocean for another moment. We will do this for them, our parents. I know we were both thinking it. They would have loved this. We'll pull this off for them. Chapter 2. Cade. I hate clubs. I hate parties. I just started to hate the Hollywood lifestyle altogether. Once you're labeled as a playboy, it's nearly impossible to shake it, no matter what you do. It gets spun into a negative light. A case in point is this morning. I know something is wrong when I come downstairs to find my manager sitting at my dining room table in front of my seat as breakfast from my favorite cafe. A coffee, a tabloid website pulled up on his tablet. We've had these talks before when one of the paparazzi gets a photo and spins a story. He shows up just like this. I get a lecture about not putting myself in a situation to have compromising photos taken. Only this time, I know exactly what it's about. With a sigh, I sit down and open the box to find Rise and Shine Special. My favorite because it has a little bit of everything from the menu. I dig in before I look at the website. I know I can't put this off much longer, even if I want to. I find my face is splashed across the headline with a photo of me leaving the club last night with my co-star's wife, and some trashy headline about me sleeping with another married woman, and both of us being fallen over drunk. They print what they want, no matter if it's true or not. I scroll down to the article, and as much as I want to deny it, it's not good. It claims a source told them I had been bragging about leaving the club with Kaci all night. So when we finally left together, they assumed we'd be sleeping together. Now in the past, I would have slept with her, and not thought about it twice. I've slept with my co-stars' wives before and didn't care about it. But that playboy lifestyle catches up with you fast, and it's getting old. No one except my manager believes I've changed. The press doesn't want to accept it because it means fewer stories for them to print. I wonder what they would think if they knew I hadn't had sex in about a year now. My mind drifts back to last night. We were all at the club celebrating the last day of filming. Matt bailed a few minutes after we got there, but his wife Kaci stayed and she drank and drank and drank. She fell into another guy's arms who was all too happy to have her so drunk she couldn't even give consent or say no. So I swooped in and took her home. I laid her on the couch, fully clothed, shoes still on, and left not even 2 minutes later. But they don't report on that because it won't make a good story. That don't give them clicks. I finally look up at my manager, whose face is blank. If the movie wasn't finished, they would have recast you. That's what the director said, and since it's friends with Matt, Ren, my manager, says. This is bullshit. Nothing happened. I called you stone cold sober last night and told you what happened. Hell, I haven't had a drink in weeks. And I can't remember the last time I got drunk. A year ago? You know that, and I know that, but no one else will believe it because this is what they're reporting with photos, Ren says. Kaci can back my story, and who is this source, I ask. Doesn't matter. Matt knows she didn't sleep with you, but it's what it looks like. You know, an image is all that matters in this town. And his wife is cheating on him, and it will take months to bury this story. The source doesn't matter. They make up a source most of the time to print whatever the story they want, he says. So what was I supposed to do? Let the guy take her home and rape her? Actually let her cheat on him? My stomach rolls at the idea. Ren buries his face in his hands. No, you did the right thing, normally, but maybe next time call her husband or call her a cab and just stick her in it alone or get a friend to pick her up. Anything other than leaving her, assuming there is a next time, which there won't be for a few weeks, and that leads me to the next topic. He stops and looks at me. I instantly know I'm not going to like what he has to say. Just tell me, I say and dig into my breakfast. No point in letting good food go to waste. I think you need to get out of Hollywood and get away from the press for a bit. Let this cool down. We can say you went to get some help and bring you back as a changed man. Let me work on getting your next gig while you lay low, he says. What do you mean by laying low? I want more details before I agree to anything, though I don't think he's asking my permission here. I booked you 2 weeks at Sunrise Inn in a small town in North Carolina. I rented the whole place out so you won't be bothered. Plus, it's the off-season and they're signing NDAs, so no press. It's a small island right on the beach. I know you've been tired of the Playboy image, so there you go. Relax and just be Cade. Find out who he is again. Not just Cade Markson, movie megastar. You already booked the place, I ask. Yes, it cost a pretty penny. The inn owner was hesitant to agree, so I offered to pay double her nightly rates on every room and pay her employees their wages for 2 weeks to keep them at home. She just has a few people staying to clean and cook, so you'll still be taken care of, Ren assures me. I have to admit I'd like the idea of a change of pace by getting out of Los Angeles. My grandmother lived in North Carolina, and growing up I remember visiting. Things just moved slower and people were nicer, more caring. I asked my mom about it, and she said that was just how the South was. I think Ren is right. Some good old Southern hospitality might be just what I need right now to recharge and relax. When do I leave? I sigh. 2 days, but you're under house arrest until then. I'll fly out with you to make sure the paperwork and the payments are taken care of, he says. You mean you're going to personally escort me to my jail cell at the beach? I roll my eyes and he laughs. Something like that. Now just relax, start packing, and remember, don't leave the house. I'll email you your flight info and pick you up. See you then. He doesn't even bother to turn around as he walks out the door. Great. I'm a prisoner in my own house, and soon to be one at a beach. I start to wonder if for the first time if this is even worth it anymore. I haven't been happy, but this is all I know. And I can't get to a normal job. I've been acting since I was in school, so I have no real life skills. I was smart with my money and saved most of it. Even the house I live in is a small compared to the other actors in town. But it's just me. I didn't need or want a huge mansion. I wanted to save that money. Well, I have over just 2 weeks to figure out my next steps because I don't think I'm coming back to Hollywood. Ren wasn't kidding. He didn't leave my side until we got on the plane. And then I didn't see much of him as he flirted with one of the flight attendants. I'm pretty sure he had some bathroom fun, judging from his face when he sits back down next to me. I got the airport info, so make sure everything is lined up. He tries to play it off, but we both know. Yet I don't care enough to ask him. I may have left the Playboy lifestyle behind, but he certainly hasn't, and I don't think he will at any time soon. Even so, he's a good guy, and I trust him, which is more than I can say about most people who are around me on a daily basis. As we land in Wilmington, North Carolina, Ren deals with getting me a rental car, then gets a text, and his whole face lights up. "Ma'am, that flight attendant has a 2-day layover here and wants me to meet her at her place." He slams a folder to my chest and hands me the car keys. "Everything is in that folder. They should have the NDA signed for you when you get there, and everything else has been paid for. You might not be getting laid, but I'm about to be all weekend. Call if there are any problems," he says, and is gone before it all sinks in. The asshole abandoned me. People are starting to recognize me, so I quickly make my way to the rental car to think for a moment. I could ditch the beach and take a road trip. It would serve him right for abandoning me like this. I like that idea. But when I looked this Sunrise Inn up online, I found a beautiful place right on the beach. Something about it draws me in, so I figure I should at least give it a try. My drive to the small town of Seaview is full of back roads and amazing views. I pull over a few times to snap some pictures and take in the moment. I'm already later than what Ren told the inn I'd be there, but hey, it's his fault, so I just take my time. When I pull into the inn, my first thought is the photos online. Didn't do it justice. The place looks like a mix of a modern inn and a throwback to the old resorts from the 1950s. The white clapboard exterior is clean, and the landscape is well taken care of. I grab a bag and toss it over my shoulder as I head into the lobby. The lobby isn't as big or as grand as some of the hotels I've stayed at, but it does have a view of the ocean that would leave most people breathless. Only that is not what takes my breath away. No. The girl at the check-in counter steals my attention with her blonde hair and sweet as sin green eyes. She smiles as she reads her book, and I can't look away, not even when a door to my right slams. "Girl, you'll never believe who I saw at the farmer's market. Fucking Jasper is back." I threw a kiwi at his face and, "Oh my God, Cade's here. I thought he'd be checked in by now." The girl who came in, barging in, gasped. "I thought they'd signed the NDAs and weren't allowed to tell people I'm here." Great, the word is already out. So much for a quiet stay. I drop my bag to the ground, still unable to pull my eyes away from the girl at the counter. This causes the girl at the desk to look up. And the moment our eyes meet, I don't care if the whole town knows I'm here, because I know I'm not going anywhere. Okay, I hope that wasn't too bad for everybody. Thank you for listening. If you want to check out Kaci's book, it's called Sunrise. You can find it on her website, Amazon, and Kobo, Goodreads. Give it a try. It's a good one. Thank you. Have a great day.